Well, happy Friday, everybody. And while we think of Donald Trump sometimes as erratic or unhinged, the irony is you can count on Donald Trump to always do three things. One, make as much money as he can off the position of presidency. Number two, be a hypocrite, usually related to number one. And number three, in this breaking story, keep his one promise that he believes keeps his base loving and clapping for him, which he literally needs like food he eats at McDonald's, and that is mass deportation. Because if you don't recall what he said in his first administration on this subject, take a quick listen to this before I show you the story.
And still surrounded, really, by the fallout from the profane and racist quotes attributed to him about the people of Africa and Haiti.
Mr. President, will you give an apology for the statement yesterday?
Mr. President, did you refer to African nations? Did you were shithole previously?
Mr. President, are you a racist?
The story about the president's profane comments, first reported yesterday by the Washington Post, threw the West Wing into a tailspin. According to our White House correspondents, quote, two sources close to the administration told NBC News Trump worked the phones Thursday night, calling friends and allies outside the White House to gauge reaction to fallout from the blank hole comments. That led to these tweets from the president this morning, quote, never said anything derogatory about Haitians other than Haiti is obviously a very poor and troubled country. Never said take them out, made up by Dems. I have a wonderful relationship with Haitians. That makes this a case of who do you believe? And here now is Senator Dick Durbin, Democrat of Illinois, who was there. He was in the meeting at the White House with the president. Today, he refuted the president's story.
Senator Graham made his presentation. The president interrupted him several times with questions. And in the course of his comments, said things which were hate-filled, vile, and racist. You've seen the comments in the press. I have not read one of them that's inaccurate.
Yes, they're all S-hole countries. Because now, in present day, Trump has consistently been going nuts. And to this point, a lot of the courts, including the Supreme Court, have kind of thwarted him, stopped him a bit. But he still isn't quitting, as noted by this.
Plus, Trump's plans to handle his top priority on day one, deportations.
Trump is also moving quickly to crack down on illegal immigration. Sources tell ABC News one of Trump's first orders of business will be to rescind any Biden administration policies that expanded opportunities for migrants to live and work in the U.S.
And in this breaking story, what just happened? And what did the Supreme Court just hand Donald Trump on a silver platter, which should make all of us nervous for a very important reason? You cannot believe it. Here is the breaking story.
Supreme Court allows Trump to end legal protections for 500,000 migrants. The U.S. Supreme Court on Friday allowed the Trump administration to proceed with its plan to strip humanitarian parole protections from over 500,000 immigrants, exposing nearly 1 million people to potential deportation. The decision lifts a lower court's order that had temporarily shielded migrants from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela, while legal challenges played out. The order is not a final ruling, but clears the way for the administration to begin revoking legal protections as the case returns to the First U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. The move follows a broader Trump agenda to reverse Biden-era immigration policies and expedite mass deportations. Why it matters. This is the first time a U.S. administration has attempted a mass revocation of humanitarian parole, a special designation typically granted for urgent humanitarian reasons. The Trump administration has made several emergency appeals to the High Court in recent months, many tied to immigration. While it has lost some key cases, the Supreme Court's conservative majority has increasingly opened the door for the administration to implement sweeping immigration changes while litigation is still pending. What to know? In a separate case, the court had already allowed the administration to revoke legal protections from 350,000 Venezuelan migrants. Trump's legal team argued that Biden had unlawfully granted mass parole and that individual case reviews would be too burdensome for immigration authorities. Immigration advocates say the move could become one of the largest mass illegalization actions in modern American history, potentially uprooting hundreds of thousands of migrants who have lived legally in the U.S. with financial sponsors. Liberal Justice Elena Kagan joined the Supreme Court's conservative majority in siding with the Trump administration. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, joined by fellow liberal Justice Sonia Sotomayor in dissent, warned the decision could cause the lives of 500,000 migrants to unravel all around us before the courts decide their legal claims. Her language echoed concerns raised by a lower court judge who argued such revocations should be done individually, not en masse. The Biden administration had used humanitarian parole more than any previous president, offering 2-year legal stays to migrants who met strict eligibility criteria, including financial sponsorship and travel arrangements at their own expense. Trump's campaign and presidency have centered on mass deportations and dismantling legal pathways created under Biden. What happens next? The case returns to the First U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in Boston, but the Supreme Court's order means that protections will not remain in place while it proceeds. If the lower courts ultimately side with the migrants, the administration may be forced to reinstate legal status, though by then, many could have already been deported or left the country.
Yes, all of that. Now, I've been clear with you guys here at Occupy Democrats. I am all for legal immigration. I'm actually all for correcting the system, which has been debated and argued about, by the way, for more than or on or about 50 years since the mid-70s. This is not unusual, from INS to Reagan, DACA, and everything else. But here's the thing. There is an attack on this that has a larger consequence to it, which is once you actually do something, and you know this from your own relationships, once you choose to allow something, or once you choose to make something a consistent law, and you cannot really prove or reason why you should change that for those who've already adhered to it, agreed to it, and conduct themselves by it, when you change that, you are striking a much sharper chord. And this decision by SCOTUS to reverse and allow Trump to go after basically legal migrants who have been here for a while is a dangerous, dangerous bridge to fall off of, because it is one step closer to a dictatorial level regarding immigration and who can be here and who can't, that can be really scary as we continue to go forward in our lives. You guys enjoy your weekend. Smile, talk to your friends, those you agree with, those you don't. Whew, stay frosty.